Welcome to Cult Corner, I'm Atron.
And I'm Inferna.
And today we're going to be reviewing the classic Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Yes, made in 1992. Doesn't seem like that long ago for some weird reason. Anyway, this also won some awards.
It won 3 Academy Awards.
Yes, for Best Costume Design, Best Effects and Sound Effects Editing, and Best Makeup. So, quite a few people, quite a large cast.
Yeah, a lot of well-known names in this.
A lot of well-known names, obviously Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves plays Jonathan Harker, and Winona Ryder as Mina.
Mm-hmm. And it also has Richard E. Grant as Dr. Seward, Billy Campbell as Quincy P. Morris. I couldn't even read my writing.
And then you have Anthony Hopkins playing Van Helsing.
Yeah, you do. And Cary Ells comes in here too for a little bit.
Arthur Holmwood.
Yeah, Lord Arthur Holmwood.
Yeah. And he's doing his Texan accent in this movie, which is British, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Comes off kind of goofy, but...
Yeah. And then it has also Tom Waits as Renfield. You can't forget Renfield.
Yeah. He does a pretty good job here.
Yeah.
Not as good as the old Redfield, but I think this is fair.
And it also has Sadie Frost as Lucy.
Yeah. So, if you're familiar with Bram Stoker's novel, you kind of know what goes on, basically, the whole plot about this. This is like basically the romanticized version of Dracula. More like a love story than a horror movie. You know, to me, it's more like just a love movie, a romantic movie that has horror elements than a total like horror movie. That's what I think. But
yeah, though Dracula in here is one of the more awesome Draculas.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is awesome.
Yes,
his
Gary
acting
Oldman
in here
is
is just amazing. But anyway, getting to the plot of this. Dracula, he calls Renfield to go up, and because he wants to buy some property, and like I said, everybody knows the story, knows basically the plot of this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He finds out that, well, actually no, Jonathan Harker goes and goes to meet Count Dracula, and he notices that Jonathan Harker is wearing this, or he has this little picture of Mina, his wife, or his fiancée at the time. They weren't married, but he thinks of her as his old wife when, in the long days when he was Lord of the Land and she was his queen. So, he takes, he thinks, well, it's the reincarnation of her, and, he must go to London and meet with her, and get, back together with her, try to, like, establish this love.
Rekindle this ageless love.
This immortal love, you know. And, yeah. But even earlier, it shows him, like, kind of going to war with the Turks, I believe, and he comes back out of the battle. One of the Turks soldiers shot an arrow with a message saying that he died in battle, and so Mina, well, not Mina, but Elisabetta at the time, her old name, she, like,
was distraught, and she threw herself off of the high tower of the castle, and because she thought he was dead and she couldn't live without him. Her love for him was just as strong as his love for her. But
and so...
And then he comes home and finds out that she, he just came home, like, right after she did it. It wasn't, like, weeks later or something. It was, like, almost instantly.
So he sees this, and he becomes pissed off and angry, and talks to the church and whatever, and the priest there at the time, which is one of the priests was played by Anthony Hopkins in that role as well. So they're trying to, like, kind of combine the past and the future, link it all up, with the characters. So he's like, well, I want her back. I need her, bring her back, and he's like, well, this is against God. You can't do this. Her soul will not be saved because she committed suicide. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So this is when he turns his back against religion, the Christian Catholic faith, whatever, he like gives his soul to Satan, and says, I want all the powers of darkness. Let them bring them into me.
Yeah.
You know, and
so
so
Satan obliges, and he becomes a vampire.
But actually, it's Belial.
Yeah.
You know, because it's more realistic. But anyway, so he gets all the powers and stuff, and you know, this whole leads up to going back to the Harker meeting, and he's been in that castle for centuries, waiting for the chance to find his beloved. And then when he sees that Jonathan Harker's fiance is possibly Elisabetta, his beloved, he wants to move to Carfax Abbey, and rekindle that pain, that immortal love. So he does that, and shit goes down. He's a vampire, but Harker's character knows things are crazy there. He knows that this is a preternatural kind of world where you got like howling wolves, you got like women, this vampire women, brides or whatever you want to call them, that are, he's bringing them like babies and stuff for them to drink, and just all the weird sounds, like the Count acting weird, like the sight of blood turns him on, basically, like, oh, I get blood, and just how you see his ghostly image all around, and him walking on the sides of the walls and the castle outside, just like like a spider or some shit, I mean, so he's pretty freaky, and he gets drained slowly because the Count wants to keep him there, occupied and stuff. So he don't want him to get back in with the woman, his fiance. So he's getting the vampire women to kind of slowly drain him, take his life away. But he does escape and gets sanctuary in this local, I think, church or whatever, and they kind of heal him up a bit, and he sets off to warn he says he goes off to warn Mina and that this ghoul, this vampire undead monster's coming after you, and and it could bring chaos to not only her but everything around. So and it kind of does when it gets there. People start disappearing. People start dying. Lucy, her best friend, she gets seduced by him. She slowly gets drained night after night. One time with a memorable scene with a werewolf, in the courtyard or whatever. So he's trying to woo Mina, so he kind of just meets her out in the middle of the day, and he's kind of trying to seduce her as well, like,
suave.
And worldly in a way, just like,
sophisticated.
So she's kind of taken aback about it. She's kind of intrigued with him. Something kind of pulls her towards him, but she's also kind of afraid a bit of him because it kind of seems like he's not who he is or something. But yet she feels like she knows him from somewhere as well. And so he seduces her more, and they start meeting more, and finally, he bites her, and she becomes part of him, and then you got Van Helsing character that's,
trying to hunt them all down and all that.
Yeah, he's at first he's just thinking it's a medical condition, but then it's like, oh, I've seen this before, in this crazy accent way, like Anthony Hopkins is like the insane and kind of nutty Van Helsing in this one, where he's got to kill, and you must stab him through the heart kind of mentality. He's not so sophisticated. He's just all about killing and revenge and all whatever. So it's kind of funny. He tells everybody. And Lucy's got like the Homewood guy suitor. She's got Dr. Seward who's got who wants her to be with her too, but she's with the Carrie Elves Homewood guy. That's the one that kind of ultimately ends up as her kind of interest, even though that these other guys want to get with her too, because she's loving that. She's kind of being a witch in her own way, like trying to seduce them, play around, playfully kind of tease them and stuff, when she's only really got one kind of eye on the kind of the richer
there's
guy.
only one that she's really interested in.
Yeah.
She's just playing and toying with the others.
Yeah. But they're all obviously interested in her goings on, and when she gets sick and they're trying to find out what's going on, they call Helsing in. He at first he's like, well, I don't know, but then he sees the bite marks on her neck, and he's like, oh, this is something supernatural. This is a vampire, blah blah blah, you know. And then he places this all to Dracula, the first vampire, you know, and it's around here and everything, and so yeah, they end up doing a battle with Gary Oldman, and Lucy. Yeah, she turns out into a she becomes a vampire, and she's kind of the what's it, the bloomer lady or bloop lady, or there's a name for it, I can't remember, but she's the lady in white in a lot of
Yeah, I can't remember that name.
But yeah, she gets transformed, and yeah, she's stealing babies, and they find her, and yeah, basically cut her head off and stake her ass. So yeah, but so yeah, the vampire's on the prowl. They have to do battle. Harker is trying to save his wife's immortal soul, so, and plus, you know, rekindle their, you know, relationship, and pretty much get to the good graces of the Lord, you know, and all this kind of crazy darkness going on. But yeah, this is a really good movie. I would have, like, acting choices for Harker and Mina would have been different, because I didn't think Keanu Reeves was the best choice for Jonathan Harker, as well as Winona Ryder for Mina. I mean, they did okay, but it just, even Cary Elves for Arthur Holmwood, Lord Arthur Holmwood, I didn't think he was that good either. It just came out.
It's like they almost were like just trying to get like people that were big in the industry right then, and you know, they're like, oh, let's just get names, regardless of if they fit the part or not. Let's go for names.
What I did really like about this movie, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, is the beautiful soundtrack on this, and just the visuals are very awesome. And it's just, it's so well done.
The effects and everything.
I seen this in the theater, and when I remember my first experience, just being like, wow, awed with how beautiful it looked, and just the kind of preternatural kind of element, so just amazing, like in the movie, and you felt like this darkness was around you, and you were in another world, you know, when you were at Flat Tepee's castle, you know. So that was a really good film. The acting, like I said, Gary Oldman was great. I think he was the best part of this movie, acting wise. Anthony Hopkins was okay as the Van Helsing character, but I thought it was a little kind of
hokey.
It just seemed like kind of a little too crazy, like the insane mad Van Helsing, instead of the more sophisticated thinker, intellectual, you know. And so, I mean, that was a little, that bugged me a bit.
Kooky.
Yeah, more than kind of, you know, just, you know, a logical thinking kind of man, you know, just like, okay. But
you could have easily been seen as the town kook.
Yeah, or just crazy killer man, you know.
Yeah. Anyway,
those are kind of my positive and negative things about this movie. Also, it's not really based on the novel, because in the novel, Dracula is not a romantic guy. He's a killer. He's a parasitical killer, and he doesn't care about emotion, feelings. He just wants blood, and he's going to get it anyway. This one is just more, like I said, romantic version of the Dracula novel. So yeah, how many stars would you rate this?
I will give it a 6.5. I liked it, but, you know, like you said, it was, you know, more romance versus, you know, following more true to the story. Now, the costuming was gorgeous. The effects were gorgeous. I did like that. I feel almost in a sense Keanu and Winona were, not that they were super young when they were casting these roles, but they seemed almost too, not necessarily young, but almost too immature for like a heavy romantic type role.
At the time, you know, a lot of Hollywood, they cast people that are popular at the time, you know, whether it fits the role for them, you know.
And I just think it was just a mismatch in in casting.
And I believe
somewhat.
Winona Ryder has something like financially to get this up going. You know, like it was kind of her vision of playing this and getting these people to do this. So
anyway, what would you...
okay, yeah, I'm gonna see. I'll give it 7.5 stars out of 10.
7.5.
Yeah, and this is the DVD version. There's two different kinds of DVDs. This is a really nice one. This was the last one before you could get the Blu-ray. And I like how it shows Gary Oldman's Dracula here. It's very pretty. It's a 2-disc set. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, I mean you can pick this up on Blu-ray now, but I don't think it's necessary until they do like another kind of restoration of this. Like maybe a 4K. That might be awesome to see, being how beautiful this film is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, so that was our review of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes.
And we are out of here.
Yes.
Hail the horror.
Hail horror.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.